at San Jose State, you tore it up, dude. 8,382 passing yards, 66 passing touchdowns, 22 picks in 2 seasons. From there, you did get drafted by the Chicago Bears in the 6th round. Putting up those numbers at San Jose State, getting drafted by the Bears, like, can you kind of bring us back to that moment of what it felt like just to see the windy road, high school, Nevada to Wyoming, then back, and how that all paid off for you?
Yeah, it all happened so fast. That's like what I tell my wife too. It's like I just my when I'm reflecting on how we got to this point, how I made it to the league and stuff. I'm like, it just my head was down. I was grinding and like knew what I wanted at certain points, and it was hard. But like when you look back, like just time flies. And when I got to San Jose, it was like just a perfect timing. These guys that were there, they were juniors and seniors. They had been playing since they were freshmen, and I had been playing too, just in junior college. So it wasn't like they had some rookie coming in to play with them. They just needed a guy to give them the ball and get it to the right place. So like they had a vet offensive line, bunch of vets up there, veteran receivers, a really good defense, and they needed someone to give them the ball. So it was like perfect timing. And they had been grinding out the last few years, just getting that culture and foundation in place. And then I kind of like fell in line with that as well. So perfect timing for a place. And then the next year that coach left and went to Colorado, and it was tough. A lot of the new coach came in, was trying to create a new culture, and it was tough, but we had a lot of good players and definitely should have won more than 6 games. But I mean, it was surreal. And then I went through the whole draft process, and I remember after my junior year, they asked me like, "Hey, are you gonna make a decision?" I'm like, "A decision on what? Like, are you gonna come out?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, no. So that was when I didn't even wasn't really thinking about the NFL. But that is after my junior year when they asked that. I was like, oh, "Okay, so this is real." And but I in my mind, I'm like, we had a lot of vets coming back, so we were going to be even better the next year, and I was going to have even a better year, and we did have a really good year. But then went through the draft process, went to the Senior Bowl, went to the combine, went to the pro day. It was around like we had a really big draft class that year. It was Bortles, Manziel, Derek, John, Jimmy Garoppolo. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that year, um, and I thought like first it was going to be second, third round. My agent was telling me, and then it was like fourth, fifth round, then sixth round. So the draft day was pretty stressful just because I was thinking I was going earlier. But when it happened, it was cool. I really didn't know much about Chicago. They had worked me out the week before, and the coach was awesome. Again, like my career, like I look back and I wish I would have played more, wish I could have played longer. But I was fortunate to be around some really cool people and good coaches. And like I got drafted to Chicago, and it was Matt Kavanaugh was our quarterback coach. He had been a backup to Joe Montana and played 15 years in the league and been coaching for like 15 years. So this guy was like had so much knowledge, and you just realize like usually the people that are one of the best in their space are also like really good human beings, and he was definitely that. And so that was like how I entered the league, being around him. I had Cutler, Jimmy Clausen was a huge help to me, and just like teaching me how to learn. So yeah, and then I mean, it was definitely surreal. You kind of go from watching a lot of these guys on TV in high school to now I'm in the locker room with them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then you're just on the sideline watching all the guys that I was playing Madden with on Xbox or whatever video game. So it was pretty cool. And I mean, we could do a whole show again on like the journey through the NFL because there's so many ups and downs there that I had to like lean on in terms of what I'd learned in college. But overall, it was like such a cool experience.
Do you miss football?
Oh my gosh, yeah, so much. I miss it so much. And what you realize is you don't necessarily. I don't miss throwing a football. I don't even really miss like I mean I do miss throwing touchdowns and stuff, but you miss the guys. Like you miss competing. You miss the camaraderie of just like-minded individuals because that's something I didn't realize. I just kind of grown up into it. Fortunately, I've been in at San Jose, a bunch of high-performing, like-minded individuals working towards the same goal, and the NFL is the same way. A bunch of just ballers for the most part working towards the same goal, very like-minded. And then when you get out of that for an extended like 6 months, I'm just like, dang, where are my people at? Like, you don't, and that's the same thing. I go to these events with guys who've for former players, and that's just everyone saying the same thing. It's like we just miss the locker room, we miss being around the guys. So that is definitely the number one thing I miss. Obviously, I miss like being out competing and playing, but not I'm not that's not like, I mean, I could go play in the XFL or the USFL or whatever, and I don't really have the desire to do that, just because I do have kids and I kind of want to figure out this next phase of my life. Like I don't want to keep chasing the dream, and because the dream has changed now. So but yeah, definitely I would say I do miss it. I'll probably always miss it.